I'm Dave Dameshek, and this is your Reality Shek. Of course, QB wins are a real stat. Matter of fact, they're more important now than they've ever been before. The analytics people will tell you that the performances of quarterbacks in the most critical games of their careers shouldn't really be weighed too heavily when we try to determine who the better quarterbacks are. But small sample sizes be damned. Why else then do we all agree that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in an era that includes future first ballot Hall of Famers Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? All my life, I assumed the ultimate point of every NFL season was to win it all. And therefore, a quarterback winning postseason games is a terrific measure of his greatness. But apparently, that's too simplistic to call him the best just because he wins a championship, which is also there to determine who's best. In my defense, I've been duped by frauds like Vince Lombardi, the guy who said winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And Al Davis, who said, just win, baby. And Herm Edwards, who said, you play to win the game. And Tom Brady, who always is bragging by holding up his hands filled with all those championship rings. Now, maybe Tom meant to hold up a card that showed his QBR from a game back in October of 2015 against the Arizona Cardinals, but I doubt it. You know, maybe the analytics people are right. We could just cancel the playoffs and end the season around the holidays. You know, the playoffs, it's cold outside and the hitting picks up and guys get hurt and it's winner take all and there's so much pressure. Who needs all that blockbuster level drama, am I right? They say you can't measure a QB's greatness based on how many rings he wins. But here's the thing. Yes, I can and will. Because the contrary is absurd. What should we do instead? Gather around the laptop and swoon over a quarterback's statistics? That's not a world I want to live in. And by the way, why is watching football starting to feel more and more like taking a college course? I don't like taking college courses. I liked it so little the first time, I barely went to any of them. Listen, the inconvenient fact is most NFL championships are going to be won by the teams who have the best quarterbacks. Here's the rub, though. So long as they only give out one Lombardi at the end of those playoffs, not every quarterback's going to get one. And that's what makes it good and juicy. The guys who do end up winning them are the ones who go down as legends for all of time. Like I say, it's now more important than ever. Back in the days of Joe Montana, having a great quarterback gave you an edge over a team that maybe had a better defense or otherwise. Now, you have to have a great quarterback just to get into the playoffs. Look at 2024. No Case Keenums in the mix there, were there? Now, the cynics will point out that it's not just about one guy. It's the ultimate team game. Great, but egalitarian platitudes aside, there's a reason why the quarterback makes 20 times more than most of his teammates. And by the way, if he wins, he's going to get more of the credit. And if he loses, he's going to take more of the slings and arrows. Justin Herbert and Sam Darnold know what I'm talking about. Yes, like it or not, Josh Allen will catch more heat than DJ Smoot if these Buffalo Bills never win a Super Bowl. You can wring your hands all you want, but that's how recorded history works. The quarterbacks are the main characters. Yes, it matters who their coaches are, who their teammates are, whether the game's out in the cold or under a dome, but those are footnotes to history. The through line, the headline, is who was playing quarterback. I know ignoring reality is all the rage these days, but this isn't about how it makes you or anyone else feel. It's about the actual result, aka the only thing. It's not a math equation. And by the way, if not QB wins, what metrics are we applying here? Their statistics? Those aren't perfect indicators either. After all, Matt Schaub has a higher passer rating than Roger Staubach. Kerry Collins has more career passing yards than Joe Montana. Yeah, these straw man arguments aside, nobody thinks Trent Dilfer is better than Dan Marino. But go ask Dan Marino whose career he'd rather have, his or Eli Manning's. And as far as Eli Manning goes, nobody thinks he's better than Tom Brady. But he did beat Brady head-to-head twice. Is that the number one evaluator of Eli Manning? I don't know, but it's way up there. So whatever happens in the playoffs, the great QBs are still going to be great. But when the conversation is best ever, the rings do count. The titles are history's markers. They're everything. And we need them to count anyway. Otherwise, what are we going to do with all the Cleveland Browns jokes we've got?